Hello friends, I'm in Seattle. I'm going out to enjoy the nature, and I'll share with you a couple of stories on life and leadership in this video. And I request you to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And I'm a survivor of brain stroke in the year 2021. Yesterday, rain was a dampener. Morning there was clarity, but from evening onwards, rain was a dampener, and we couldn't enjoy yesterday. So let me share with you. This is the home where my younger son Ramkrishna Sai lives, and these are the villas in and around our home in Seattle. You can hear the sounds of aircrafts here because there are two airports in Seattle, and you often hear the sounds of aircrafts. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Professor M.S.Rao. I have authored 53 books, including the award-winning book titled See the Light in You, for which the Nobel laureate His Holiness Dalai Lama has it in a foreword. I have 43 years of diversified experience, including Indian Air Force, business, teaching and training. I'm a late bloomer, dyslexic, ADHD, OCD. Add to that the brain stroke worsened my health. I'm 61 years old with mental challenges, physical challenges and financial challenges. I don't have two-wheeler, I don't have four-wheeler. I don't get any pension, I don't have any regular income. And I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. Despite having all these challenges, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix. So life is a gift, life is an opportunity, and never give up. We are living in this world with some reason, so let us live. Let us live our life with purpose to provide meaning. And I am in Seattle right now, and I came to Seattle for the first time, and I am with my wife in Seattle, and for more than 3.5 months we are in Seattle. Seattle is a very beautiful city, and people are amicable and adjustable. They are very warm and friendly, and weather is pleasant and very good city, and people respect diversity. They embrace diversity. They respect LGBT, and overall it's a very beautiful place, and I am lucky that I am in Seattle, and I am with my wife in Seattle for more than 3 months. So we are enjoying our life, and apart from Seattle, there are some companies they are doing good in Seattle. Some of the companies including Boeing, Alaska Airlines, Microsoft, Amazon, Costco, Starbucks. So these are all the companies that they are doing good, and so the entrepreneurs worked very hard they had a vision and they worked very hard, and they became successful entrepreneurs. And Jeff Bezos started Amazon from garage, and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos are in Seattle, and I don't know other leaders who are living in Seattle. I mean, there are many leaders here. So recently I came to know that LinkedIn co-founder So I came to know that LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman lives with his wife in Seattle. And there are other leaders very prominent. They are living in Seattle, and Seattle is very good, and entrepreneurship is thriving. And Bellevue, Seattle and Bellevue are closely connected, and it takes 20 minutes to drive from Seattle to Bellevue, and Seattle and Bellevue are just like twin cities of Telangana in India. So this is briefly about Seattle. And now with regard to entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship is very challenging, but you must explore entrepreneurship. Some people might say that entrepreneurship is very challenging, and let me share with you the fact that life itself is very challenging. What happens next, that we can't predict. So it's very challenging life, and we must take risk. Not to take a risk is also a risk, right? So we must take a risk in life, and at the same time we must also take a risk as an entrepreneur. And I wanted to become an entrepreneur. Of course I could not become a successful entrepreneur, and finally I became a faculty member in the year 2007. That was a different story, but overall entrepreneurship is very good. It comes with lots of challenges, and there are opportunities, and entrepreneurship is for brave-hearted. Entrepreneurship is for brave-hearted, not for faint-hearted. Entrepreneurship is a dogfight. It's very challenging, and you must explore entrepreneurship in your lifetime. If you succeed, it's fine. If you fail, no problem. You can learn lessons and move on. Because we are gifted with a limited span in this world, we must know how to utilize our precious time, and we must enjoy our life. We must lead our life. If we succeed, it's fine. If we fail, no problem. We learn lessons and move on. And I published 53 books. One of the books is on entrepreneurship. I published 53 books. In fact, I wrote 60 books, and 53 have been published, and 7 books are still pending for publication. After the brain stroke, things changed drastically, and I was not able to complete the pending book proposals. I still have 7 pending book proposals which are ready. Only thing I have to update and get them published. So one of the books which is in the pipeline is entrepreneurship. So this entrepreneurship is also very close to my heart, and entrepreneurship means what? Taking risk, leading from the front, and learning the lessons, and moving on. If there are any misalignments, we have to align the things and keep moving. And again, there is no assurance that we will be successful, but entrepreneurs are optimists by nature. I am very optimistic about the future, and I am very optimistic person. So when you are optimistic, then everything will fall into the place. So apart from optimism, then you should have persistence, and you have to contribute consistently. So many factors are involved, and entrepreneurship is easier said than done, but still it's worth exploring. This is briefly about entrepreneurship. So I introduced myself, then I shared with you about Seattle story with entrepreneurship. Now I'll share with you various other aspects. So now let me share with you my challenge. I have a chronic back pain since 2007. That's one challenge. And I have a brain stroke in the year 2021. That was the biggest challenge in my life. Then I have internal allergies. Various other challenges are there. So I have to walk. Doctor advised me that I should go for a walk. So I am walking now. And of course, for more than 40 years, I have been hitting gym. Two things I stick to in my life. One is going to temples, and second thing is going to gym. These are all the things I followed in my life. And I'm an author, a researcher and storyteller, and I'm very curious and creative by nature, and I published 53 books, and I published 300 research papers, and I published more than 1,000 articles. In my life, I made my debut into writing in the year 2007. So I made a debut as an author in the 2010. So within 14 to 15 years, I published 53 books, and 7 books are yet to be published. So this is briefly about my profile, and I create my own stories and share my stories to make a difference and impact humankind. So I create my own frameworks, models, methods, lots of things I do it because I'm very curious and creative by nature, and I work very hard. I wake up in the morning 4 o'clock and sleep 10 o'clock in the night, and afternoon I take a break, I sleep. So that's how I do it. So focus is the key, and passion is the main thing in my life. So I'm passionate about various areas, including writing, teaching, storytelling, and traveling. So lots of things I do it. So now currently I am sharing my story with you, and I am holding my smartphone with my left hand, and I can't shift my phone from left hand to right hand, as my right shoulder right hand is numb. There is no sense to my right shoulder and right hand. So lots of challenges. So please empathize with me. So I am holding my smartphone with my left hand, and secondly, I am not a digital savvy, so I am uploading only raw videos. And why I am uploading my videos is that I want to keep them as my record. I want to keep them as my memories, because I am already 61. So I thought of recording my memories on my channel, so that the listeners and viewers enjoy my stories and they will share with their networks. So I am very optimistic person, and I am very positive of what I am doing. So these are all the things I am doing. So please empathize with me, and I request you to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I am passionate about acquiring my knowledge and sharing my knowledge, and I believe in continuous. I believe in two things. One is continuous learning. Second, taking feedback. These two are the basic principles of my life. So now I will talk about yesterday. I would like to share with you. I visited Bellevue. I watched a parade where people were celebrating Christmas holidays. So really it was a great experience in my life. People usually, there was a heavy rush. People don't connect with each other physically, but yesterday there was a heavy rush. There was a very big crowd in Bellevue, Lincoln Square, something like that. So I enjoyed Christmas event yesterday evening, and luckily there was no rain. After we watched, after completion of watching our parade in Bellevue, then it was raining at that time. So luckily that rain was not a dampener at that time, and my wife, my younger son, and I enjoyed parade in Bellevue. Huge crowd I saw, and tomorrow is the Christmas, so people are enjoying holidays. So these are all the things, and really it was it was a great spectacle yesterday, and where I saw parade yesterday night. So really it was very pleasant, a great spectacle in my lifetime. I enjoyed it. So now I'll go to the other side of the place, then I will share my a story. So like that, because I can't focus on too many things, so I don't stick. Just a moment. So I'm waiting for the green signal. If you get green signal, then we can walk the other side. So I'm standing here at the junction. Yeah, I have crossed the road. So one thing, okay, now I will walk and talk. This is a junction, and I'm walking on the trail, and I'm sharing my stories. And why I'm walking and talking is that I'm sharing my stories on life and leadership, and while walking, and I share various aspects, and the people are those who are interested, they will listen to my stories and share with their networks. First thing was that I have a chronic back pain, and I have to go for walking. Second thing is that I am a storyteller too. And the third aspect is that I am sharing my stories and recording. I am recording my stories on YouTube and sharing with the world. And some of the listeners and some of the people who watch my YouTube might like and share with their networks. So in this way, I am sharing my knowledge and impacting the humankind. Too many little drops will make a mighty ocean, right? So every drop of the ocean matters. So I am a very small person, and I want to do my best within my limitations. So I am sharing my stories. Those who are interested to listen to my stories, they can enjoy, they can learn my years of knowledge and share with their networks. So these are all the multiple advantages involved in my walking and sharing my ideas. And at the same time, I share a couple of aspects on life and leadership. You only take whatever is relevant and appropriate in the prevailing context. Sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes people might criticize. So I respect the criticism. Any criticism which is healthy must be respected. Any criticism must be any criticism which is healthy must be invited and should be discussed. So people have their own views and opinions. So we can't agree. I can't agree with all people. So I only share what I know based on my years of experience. So that's the reason why I am sharing my knowledge, and I am walking and talking and sharing my ideas and insights. And so these are the intentions behind walking and sharing my ideas. Okay. So now I will talk briefly about my life. I was born on October 31st, 1983 in a tiny village, and I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment, and my childhood was very chaotic. I could not enjoy my childhood, and for 18 years I was at my home, and sometimes I supported my father, and sometimes I cleaned the dishes, sometimes I prepared tea, sometimes I collected cash at the counters. Precisely I was a tea seller at that time, and my father was disorganized and alcoholic and litigant, and my mother is a naysayer. So and you can understand the kind of family I was born into it. And I was cursed with toxic siblings. So anyhow, we can't change the past, so we can think of what we can do in the future. Your life depends on the way you lead, so choose the path you would like to go and add value and impact humankind. So choose the right path so that you will be mindful, ethical, and you can impact the people. And I had a dream to join the Indian Air Force. So at the age of 18, I joined the Indian Air Force, and I was lucky that I came out of my toxic family, and I grew as a healthy citizen and as a leader in the Indian Air Force. And initially when I joined Air Force, I had cultural shocks because of the food habits, my behavior, and Air Force, Indian Air Force groomed me in a right way. So I am what I am because of Indian Air Force. So I joined Indian Air Force on 4th February 1982 in Begumpet in Secunderabad in India. Then 5th February 1982, I went to Tambaram for the training. And here you can hear the sounds of aircraft. This is Qatar Airlines. I came to Seattle by Qatar Airlines. So whenever I hear the sounds of aircraft, I get goosebumps because I served in the Indian Air Force. So whenever I hear the sounds of aircraft, I get goosebumps, I get excited. So I'll watch for a moment whenever I hear the sounds of aircraft. So now there are 2 airports in Seattle. I think 2 airlines. One is Boeing, another is Alaska Airlines. So okay, now let me revert back to my own story. So after I joined the Indian Air Force, my salary was around 400 rupees. So I sent money to support my parents, and the salary was around 400 rupees at that time, and it was very small amount, but I was happy that I was getting free food, accommodation, clothes, everything we got. So I was very happy. So and Air Force life was very difficult because it was military, and it was very difficult for me to get adjusted. But since I had a dream to serve my country, so I struggled and started adapting to Indian Air Force, and grew as a healthy citizen. So I am grateful to Indian Air Force. So then again, after I joined the Indian Air Force, I acquired 6 qualifications. DME from Aeronautical Engineering from Indian Air Force, BSc, which I discontinued, and paid condonation fee. Then again I continued my 3rd year because I was doing degree 2nd year at that time, and I paid the condonation fee. And usually degree takes 3 years, but for me it took more than 3 years, 4 years. So I got my BSc from Andhra University. Then I got my MA from Ajmer University. When I was in Jodhpur, I got it. Then I got my PGDCLL when I was in Jodhpur. I attended classes in the night. and then I got my DME from Ministry of Defense. Then I got my MBA from IGNO, which was a correspondence course. So 6 qualifications I acquired, and it was very difficult for me to acquire all these qualifications because there was no material at that time. Addresses would be different, and I was never there was no permanent address in Indian Air Force. I kept traveling, so that was one more challenge. Secondly, lack of material at that time. So I used to visit libraries in Jodhpur. Wherever I was there, I visited some libraries to acquire knowledge. In those days, there was no scarcity of information. Now there is a problem of plenty. That means lots of stuff, and there is information overload. So the things have changed very fast in this world. I'm 61. Within 61 years of my life, I've seen lots of changes in my life. So I got 6 qualifications, all through private education and with limited salary, and I sacrificed my personal life in the Indian Air Force, and I used to work. Then again, the leftover time I was utilizing for acquiring knowledge and qualifications, and sometimes I took I used to get leave, so that leave also I used to stay in Jodhpur to prepare notes and to acquire knowledge. So it was a very challenging journey in my life. Then I served in the lowest rank of a corporal for 12 years in the Indian Air Force. Then I joined business. My father-in-law invited me to join the business, so I joined. Unfortunately, my brother-in-law and father-in-law backstabbed and betrayed, so I landed on further challenges. First of all, I was born into a toxic family. Second thing was betrayal and backstabbing by my own father-in-law and brother-in-law. So this was one more challenge. Then I left my business and became a faculty member in the year 2007. And at that time, my education helped me. Education helped me overcome my adversity. So I already had 6 qualifications. Then MBA was required at that time, and I became a faculty member in an engineering college because MBA was required. So I had a MBA at that time. So that helped. So precisely, my education helped me overcome my adversity. Education is everything. Without education, we can't survive in this world. People might think there are people without formal education also they are successful. Yes, I do agree. There are people without formal qualifications, they grew because of the trial and error method and because of their passion and persistence. But I believe that if you are equipped with education, then you don't have to depend on others. You will be independent and you will be confident and you will rock the world. So precisely, then 2007 I became a faculty member. Then I joined for my Ph.D. in the same year 2007. Then and 2007 I started blogging and sharing my knowledge freely with the world. Then I joined for my PhD in the year 2007. Then 2011 I got my PhD in soft skills. And 2010 I started writing my books, and I published books in different genre, because I didn't know what I had to do. That was a basic problem. But one thing, I was very sure that I wanted to do something big and impact. But how I had to do that, I didn't know, because I don't have any guide, I didn't have any coach, I didn't have any mentor. Nobody sponsored for my education, nobody funded for my education. In Government of India never never sponsored for my education or for my creative writings. So whatever the money was there, that I utilized, and I started working with what I had, right? And it's the bad tradesman who blames his tools. It's the good tradesman. He will work with what he has got, and he will still impact. So look for the right kind of people. Oh. So that then I published different. I published books in different areas, because I didn't have any guide, I didn't have any coach, I didn't have any mentor. So whatever flashed on my mind, I started doing. If I had a guide, if I had a mentor, if I had a coach, my life would have been better and my life would have been easier. Unfortunately, I don't have any coach, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have any guide. And whatever the ideas that flashed on my mind, I wrote books. I published books in the areas of self-help, there is non-fiction, then teaching, training, books on teaching, training, executive education, then diversity, mindfulness. Now I want to explore a new genre, that is, I want to write my own book, tentatively titled Survivor. This is the book I am planning to write, but currently I can't type with my right hand and I can't eat with my right hand. It's very challenging. So once I improve the mobility of my right hand, and once I can eat with my right hand, and once I can type with my right hand, and I will start writing. For more than 3.5 years I am not able to type with my right hand, I am not able to eat with my right hand. It's very challenging, but still I am very optimistic that I will recover very fast, and I will write books, and I will write a book tentatively titled Survivor, so which is a memoir. This book talks about my brain stroke, my challenges, and betrayals by my father-in-law and brother-in-law, and I would share about my toxic family where I was born into. So, and I would like to share through storytelling. So this is what I am planning. I don't know how it happens, but I am very optimistic that I will write a book tentatively titled Survivor. So there is people are enjoying, because today we are people are in the holiday mood. They are enjoying their holidays in Seattle. Luckily the weather is very pleasant. Good morning. Hi.
Good morning.
So just let me, because this is a park where people are enjoying with the children, and we are on the festive mode, in the sense we are enjoying holidays in Seattle, and tomorrow is Christmas in Seattle. Not only in Seattle, all over the world people are celebrating Christmas, so they are all very happy and they are enjoying with their children. They are so that's why I took a break for a moment. Not break. I just wanted to share this viewpoint. And secondly, you can see the viewpoint here, Space Needle. Then again a skyscraper. So it's a excellent viewpoint. And then you can see Jefferson Park. That is the one where I'll pass through every day, and I'll go around. Then I'll share my story. So my books are not from my books don't focus on a particular genre. So that's the problem. And second, I published. I got 6 qualifications before PhD, and those 6 qualifications like DME, BSc, MA, MBA, PGDCLL, they were all of different areas because I didn't have any guide, I didn't have any coach, and there was no consistency in my education. The only consistency I have is that I am passionate about acquiring my knowledge and sharing my knowledge. That is the only consistency. Otherwise, there was no consistency in my educational background. So let me take a moment and let me take a break. So there is no consistency in my education. And I acquired qualifications. Whatever came to my mind, I acquired, and I didn't have any guide, I didn't have any coach, and nobody funded for my education. It's all my money, and Government of India has not given me any funds, or nobody sponsored. On the other hand, I provided free education to one of my friends, and I provided money for the education of my sister, and I gave my money to purchase the gold, then to purchase the to construct a home, and all the money, everything was taken away by my own toxic siblings. So I was betrayed by these toxic siblings, but I was too soft. That's why I was taken for a ride by my toxic siblings. But anyhow, let go and move on. So I have forgiven and forgotten, and so I still am. God is great, and we get again opportunities, and we'll get money. So let me take a moment, then I'll share other aspects. So you can hear Alaska Airlines. As I said, Alaska Airlines. There are 2 airlines. One is Boeing, second is Alaska, and lots of flights are flying. Aircrafts are flying in this area because we are living very close to that airport. Just a moment. So I'm taking a break here, and I'll start my story here. So here you can see a cruise. Then you can see Pacific Ocean. You can see the view of Pacific Ocean, and you can see the cruise, and it's a very excellent place. When I look at this particular place, I get excited. Why? Because I was in Northeast India, and I lived in Northeast India for 2 years. I visited a couple of places like Pasighat, Elang, Kelang, Tamang, Itanagar. So these are the places I visited, and I was in. I worked in Mi-17 helicopters, Russian-made helicopters, where I worked. So I enjoyed my life. So I recall those days in the Indian Air Force. So whenever I hear the sounds of aircraft, I get excited. I get goosebumps. Okay then. Uh, okay then. So this is a medical center. This is Jefferson Park, and you can see what that called Space Needle skyscrapers, and then again one more aircraft is approaching nearby. So let me check what is the name of the aircraft. So I'm fascinated by the aircraft. So this is, I think, let me check this aircraft. This is Delta. This is Delta air. This is a Delta aircraft. Okay. So now let me revert to my storytelling. So I briefly, I introduced myself. Then I shared the life in Seattle and entrepreneurship. Then I briefly shared my life where I was born to till date, and I shared a couple of aspects on my life and leadership and my struggles, challenges, and so now I'll move to the next level. So I will talk about as I said, I create my own models, methods, and I create new perspectives. Then I started creating a philosophy a month ago. So now I would like to share with you about my own philosophy. And then again, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So we have to take the first step, and I take first step. Not only the first step, I also write down. For me, a short pencil is better than a long memory. So whatever comes, whatever the idea that flashes on my mind, I capture the idea and write them. This is the practice I have been doing it. For me, a short pencil is better than a long memory. That's one thing. And secondly, when you write, that means what? You persevere. That means when you write things, that means you are having the perseverance. So that's the quality you are getting. So from when I speak, so lots of ideas are coming from my mind, and that also you can listen, learn, and grow, and also you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this is the reason why I am sharing my knowledge. Okay, so now again I am looking at a woman. She's dog walking. This is somebody is playing. This is a basketball. So here people are enjoying. They are enjoying their lives. They follow their passions. They are enjoying their lives. Life is beautiful. Life is amazing. This guy is going for a walk. So people are enjoying. See, this is basketball ground. So people are skating. So if I get any opportunity, I interview the people and upload videos. Of course, today I didn't get any such kind of opportunity. So what I do usually, thank you. So I kicked the ball. Actually, it's a basketball. I just kicked the ball because the ball was approaching me. Right. So this is again another woman. Jefferson Community Center. Okay. So now let me stabilize, then I will start telling my stories. Usually what I do, I am very open and I talk to people. I am extrovert, I am very curious and creative by nature, and I initiate and talk to unknown people. And most of the times people appreciate my openness and frankness, and they connect with me and talk with me, and most of the times I am happy. But a few times people don't appreciate, so in that situation what I do, I avoid conversation because I don't want to get into any cultural shocks, right? So I take initiative, and if somebody is eager to listen, then I talk to them, then again I discuss, then again I ask them a couple of questions, their life lessons in Seattle, like that. I ask, then I upload the video on my YouTube channel. So this is how I do it, and most of the times I get positive response, and then I upload stories on my YouTube channel. If few people are introvert and a few people who are hesitant, then I stay away from that kind of conversation, because we should not get into any cultural shocks, and we have to respect the people and their space, right? This rule everywhere. Okay, so now again I am looking for some people to interview, but I am not getting anybody. Yeah, somebody is coming. I think two friends are coming. Okay, so as I said, I create my own models, methods, rules, perspectives. Then I started thinking about my own philosophy, and how I get ideas. People get ideas from different ways. Some people get ideas in the bedroom, washroom. So like that, people have their own ways of getting ideas, so that they can unlock their creativity. So in my case, how I get my ideas, when I walk I get ideas, and most of the times I'm successful because while walking I get ideas. And secondly, in the classroom, when students question me, I feel very happy and excited. And then again I interact with them, then I get more and more ideas. So when someone provokes me in the classroom, I feel very happy. Usually when students provoke, faculty members don't appreciate, but in my case I appreciate if someone provokes me in the classroom. Then I will respond to them. And another thing is that when somebody is provoking, means they are listening me. It's a positive sign. I take in that way. When someone is questioning me, means they are listening to me. So it's a positive thing, because some of the people, they don't listen at all. That's the problem. But then when someone is provoking me, means they are listening. When they are listening, means I am very happy. They are attending. So then that's how I get ideas. Then as I said, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, and I took the first step and I started scribbling. Then I started creating my own philosophy. Then I googled what is Professor M.S. Rao's philosophy. I was very much excited to see the search engine result. Professor M.S. Rao's philosophy means, Professor M.S. Rao's philosophy is to emphasize that health first, education second, and wealth third, and he harnesses technology. So I was very much excited with the result. So I felt I was on cloud 9, and it was a aha moment for me. And I felt that it was because of the power of universe. And when I started googling on Google, then I just went from first page to the other rest of the pages, and I came to that already I published an article titled "What is your leadership philosophy?" Then already I have already mentioned. Then again I often mentioned about Socrates' philosophy, three-filter test. Then again I came to know that I already published a research paper on Stoicism. I was so happy that I published a research paper, because if I write one book I can focus, but I published 53 books, so it was difficult for me to focus on 53 books. It's very challenging. People write one book or two books and they focus only on them and they work. In my case, I published 53 books. For me, 53 books means 53 babies. So focusing on all these 53 books is very challenging. Then I came to know about Marcus Aurelius, a Roman philosopher and a general, and he wrote a book that is Meditations. So I felt very happy. Then to start with, I captured the idea of philosophy. Then I created a Word document. Then again I created a couple of quotes. Then I created a couple of links where my articles and research paper was published on Stoicism. So all those things I compiled. Then I created my quotes. Then I started my own philosophy. It was a positive sign, and precisely the power of universe has made everything possible. And I had an idea and I started working. And people usually get lots of ideas, but they don't capture the ideas. That's one thing. Second thing is I capture the idea. That's one thing. Then second thing is I take initiative. Third thing, I execute. It's not that. So first capturing the idea, then again taking initiative, then and executing the things bit by bit. I started. It's a month. I started creating my own philosophy, and then I started searching for the words from my books. I published 53 books. Then I have taken some of the major ideas and I jotted down on my Word documents, like leadership, education, then attitude, gratitude, empathy, universe, God, humanity, world. So these are all the things I jotted down. Then again I started creating my own philosophy, that is educational philosophy, because I am passionate about educational learning. So let me work on that. Then again I googled educationism. Then I talked about dogmatism, that is practical education. Then again I googled about philosophy. Then I came to know that Socrates is known as the father of philosophy, which I didn't know. I know I read a little bit about Socrates, and I came to know that he was poisoned to death, and he said an unexamined life is not worth living. That means you have to examine your life. That's what Socrates said. An unexamined life is not worth living. That means you have to examine your life, said Socrates. Sorry, I am not able to communicate clearly because of my brain stroke. Sometimes I am stammering, sometimes I am repeating because of the brain stroke. So please empathize with me. And that another challenge is that I speak from the perspective of Indian no, global perspective. I talk from global perspective with Indian accent. That's one more challenge. So I speak from the global perspective. That's a positive sign, great sign. But again, the challenge is that I speak with Indian accent. That's one more challenge. So okay, fine. Ultimately, content matters. So that is briefly about philosophy. Then I created documents on Google. Then again I started I created a template to invite me to speak on philosophy. Then created my own quotes. Then I created couple of links, and so like that, lots of things I have done. Then I was interviewed by a person, I think 10 days back. He wanted to interview me on my brain stroke. He started with that. Then suddenly he started talking about philosophy. I was stunned but excited, because I was still thinking to explore my philosophy. But he threw a question on philosophy. So I was shocked, but I reconciled and enjoyed. Yes, okay, fine. Let me work on this philosophy. Then he disclosed that he loves philosophy, and he read Gita. We say Bhagavad Gita. And of course, it is same. Both are same only. And I told him that I purchase books of Bhagavad Gita on Amazon with the discounted prices, and I gifted couple of friends in the gym. So he was very happy. Then he got up while he was on the podcast. Then he showed the book of Gita. I was very happy. So it was a power of universe. And so I got goosebumps. And he also showed one more book, and Yamas or something like that, Hindu religion. That host is from Ireland, and rebirth, all those things he talked. So I was very much happy. So that's why, only when you talk, then you understand the potential you are having, right? So that's why you should talk to the people. When you talk, what happens? Somewhere someone knows something better than you, and you can learn from them. And whatever you know, you can share with them. It's a two kind of conversation. I often tell during the interviews that I enjoy podcasts and interviews, and it's a kind of two-way conversation. It's not merely somebody is asking questions and I am responding. That's fine. That's a part of the profession. At the same time, when both host and guest are involved actively, then we enjoy the conversation, and that conversation will lead to more and more conversations, and people enjoy our conversations and they share with their networks. Because for me, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. That means you have to share your knowledge. You should not hide knowledge. People hide money. People hide their knowledge. Knowledge has to be shared. Knowledge should not be kept in one particular place and one particular thing. So when you share the knowledge, what happens? So we are building a better world, right? So these are all the aspects I shared with that guy who interviewed me just 10 days back. He's from Ireland. So this is about related to my philosophy. So I started exploring my own philosophy, that is educational philosophy, and I am doing research daily. 1 hour I sit on my philosophy, and I want to publish a book on my own philosophy, but not now. First I have to improve my health. I want to have the mobility of my right hand, and then I will publish a book on philosophy later. First I have to do research. I do lot of research. I'm an author, researcher and storyteller. I'm an author, researcher and storyteller. So this is briefly about my philosophy. The much is in the store, and I'll publish a book. Now I'm returning, and I'm enjoying at the junction. Then I'll switch my gears to the next level. So this is a junction. This is Asian market. Where you get we got permission to walk here. You can't walk unless you get permission to walk. So now we have crossed the junction. Good. This is Seattle supermarket. This is junction seafood. This is MC food petrol bunk. This is the place sometimes we purchase groceries here. Foley Asian market, Delhi. This is Seattle supermarket. So initially I came to Seattle. I didn't know all those things. I started walking. First I started walking, then again I took my wife also, so that she will also enjoy the nature, and it's a kind of activity for us. So I always encourage my wife also to go for a walk, so that it's good. When you walk, you get energized. So these are all aspects. So now next I will switch my gears to the next level. I will talk about Professor M.S. Rao's 4am rule. So now I will talk briefly about Professor M.S. Rao's 4am rule. Just a moment. Then I will. This is bakery and cave. So more than 1 hour. So I had to. I don't know that it has crossed 1 hour. Although my left hand is very painful and stressful, I enjoyed sharing my knowledge. So when you are passionate about something, you don't understand the pain. You don't feel the pain. You enjoy it. Why? Because you love it. You love what you are doing. See, although my left hand is very problematic, complicated by holding with left hand, but still I am enjoying. Why? Because I am passionate about sharing my knowledge. Fine. So now I am reaching my home. I think it will take 10 to 15 minutes. So I want to share briefly about Professor M.S. Rao's 4am rule. I created Professor M.S. Rao's 4am rule, and how I got the idea means, then again I'll tell you. For everything there is an idea. Basically, why I started Professor M.S. Rao's 4am rule is that I joined Indian Air Force when I was 18 years old. I used to go for a health run in the morning with my colleagues in the Indian Air Force. So I became an early bird. That's one thing. And second thing is that I go to gym regularly. For more than 40 years I have been going to gym. That is the second aspect. Third thing is that since 2007 I have been waking up at morning 4 o'clock. That is the third aspect. Fourth thing is that I believe in learning, unlearning and relearning. So because of these four aspects, I started Professor M.S. Rao's 4am rule. And why I created Professor M.S. Rao's 4 a.m. rule on October 31st was that I started Professor M.S. Rao's 4 a.m. rule on October 31st, 2024 because it was a Halloween day. That's one thing. Second thing was it was a Diwali. We celebrated Diwali across the world on October 31st. That was the second aspect. And third thing was that I was born on October 31st, 1963. And fourth was I was born on Thursday. Because of these four factors or four aspects, so I created Professor M.S. Rao's 4 a.m. rule and I released a trailer. So you can understand how much groundwork I do for everything that I do. So, and I created a template. Then I asked one of my friends to read and give some inputs. Then he told it's excellent. He told me to put it in a polished language, that too from American language. So little bit changes he made, and then again he sent me the template. Then again I read it. Then again I customized. And then I sent the request to the people to interview me. That's one thing. Then I released a trailer, Professor M.S. Rao's 4 a.m. rule. So this is how it started. Now I'll briefly explain what is Professor M.S. Rao's 4 a.m. rule. I wake up every day morning at 4 o'clock. I create my own knowledge, my own content, and I generate my own knowledge because I have 43 years of experience, that too diversified experience. Then I am 61 years old. So that means I have been observing since 61 years of age. So that means my 43 years of diversified experience plus 61 years of my life, including my observation, all those things I started generating. And at the end, what I do is I remove unwanted folders, documents in the day. Precisely, I am the creator, the morning generator throughout the day, and I am the destroyer in the night. That's what I do it, and this is what I have been doing. Then at the end of the day, what I do, I prepare a to-do list. I prepare a to-do list of 3 things I want to do it. So 3 important tasks I would undertake, and I go to bed by giving commands to my subconscious mind. In the sense, this is the to-do list I am preparing, and next day morning I would do it. So I give commands to my subconscious mind with a to-do list of 3 important things, and I go to bed. So when I go to bed in the night, next day morning I do things automatically because of the power of subconscious mind, and next day I do things of my own because this is how this is how I programmed my day, and this is how I am leading my life. So you must understand the importance of subconscious mind, and you can leverage for good and use for good things, right? So this is how I started. This Professor M.S. Rao's 4 a.m. rule helps check dementia. It checks decision fatigue. It checks depression. This Professor M.S. Rao's 4 a.m. rule helps. It emphasizes on walking, meditation, swimming, and other creative hobbies. So I encourage people to go for walking. No investment. Only thing you have to invest your time. The biggest gift you can give it to the anybody is the time, right? this time is more than money. Money comes and goes. This time is one very precious that you have to leverage, right? So you can go for a walk. When you walk, what happens? You can unlock your creativity, and you can integrate your mental energy, physical energy, spiritual energy, and all kinds of energies, and you get happiness, and you get joy. So lots of advantages are there when you follow Professor M.S.'s 4M rule. You can achieve productivity and performance, and it helps in many ways. And so be an early bird, and I'm an early bird. When you wake up in the morning, what happens? The entire day is under your control. You can avoid distractions. You can focus clearly on your goals and objectives, and you can get benefits, and you'll achieve success. But here is a caution: you can't be an early bird, because some people have their own clock. Some people sleep late night, so they have their own body clock or circadian rhythm, whatever it is we call it. So, but still I encourage everyone to emphasize waking up in the morning at 4 o'clock, so that you can get lots of advantages. But it's not ideal for all people, because some people work remote, some people work hybrid, so they work at different time zones. They have different circadian rhythm, so we have to respect them. But overall it's good. And at the same time, I am telling you, whatever is feasible and possible, what is appropriate, you have to take, and rest of the things you can discard, because life is all about learning, unlearning, and relearning. So it's like that. So I did so many things which didn't work out, then I started reinventing. Similarly, you have to reinvent, and whatever the ideas you feel that they are not relevant, you can discard. You are at liberty to discard. You only take whatever is required, and whatever is not required, you just put it in the trash. So this is about life, and now this is briefly about Professor M.S. Rao's 4M rule. So I am holding with my left hand. It's very stressful and painful. Now I'll wrap up. So now I'll now as an author, and as a researcher, and as a storyteller, I have my own format of teaching or sharing my ideas. So let me summarize what I said. Was I introduced myself, that was one. Then I shared with you about Seattle story. Third, I talked about entrepreneurship. Fourth, I talked about my life in a nutshell, from birth, that means 1963 October 31st to till date. So I briefly mentioned my timelines. Then I shared my own philosophy. Then I shared with you that I will also publish a book on my own philosophy. Then I moved to Professor M.S. Rao's 4M rule. So this is how I have done it. This is what I have summarized. So these are all the things. The takeaway from this video is that, just let me check my own face. Yeah. So here are the takeaways from this video, is that take only whatever is required. Whatever is not required, please discard. Life is all about learning, unlearning, and relearning. The final message is that life is beautiful, life is amazing, life is creative, life is a miracle, life is a magic. So enjoy the journey and enjoy every moment of your life. Life is beautiful, and life is great. And final message is express, practice gratitude with gratitude.